Hey everyone! Today I will be taking you through this video with me and Flirtation, where I'm gonna tack him up and I'm gonna go through some of the steps that I go through with young horses the first time they're being tacked up, or older horses who has some issues, and it can be with the tacking up, but it can also be a riding issue. So first, I'm just gonna explain here that I'm warming him up a bit, and this whole video is sped up. So this whole thing takes about 45 minutes, but you're gonna see it in what, 6 minutes or so? So first I let him warm up a little bit, and right here it's like -10 degrees. So he's really stiff in the body and I'm really stiff in the body. So it does not look very glamorous, but that's okay. We're just seeing how he feels in the body that day. So why is this important, how your horse is being tacked up? Well, for me, I have this kind of an overall rule that says if you cannot touch your horse without him moving around and being insecure, then you can't brush him without moving around and being insecure. And if you can't brush your horse without that, then you definitely can't tack them up. And if you can't tack them up without them moving, without them being insecure, well, then in my mind, you also can't ride them. So also, like, if you can't get on them without them feeling insecure, then you can't ride them. And then someone might say, well, my horse is not good with any of these things and I can ride them. But I'm sure that there might be some issues that can actually be resolved, even though it might be in the canter, or it might seem unrelated, but it can be resolved if you actually dive into all these things. All right, so the first thing here I do with the rope, obviously I've been training this guy a lot, and I'm starting off with the rope around his belly. You saw me warming him up, I was touching his body, now I have the rope around him, and all these are breaking into small little steps that I have been doing for a long time, because he has not always been like this. Now, this horse is already ridden, but he has had some difficulties, and with the way I'm gonna ride him, I definitely need him to be very, very okay with everything that I'm doing. So he's not reacting a lot. I'm noticing all the small signs that he's sending me, and you see me touching his muscle a lot, his mouth, because he licks my hand a lot, and that helps him release. So do a lick and chew. If I see him get a little bit stuck, I don't want to be hanging out here for too long. I want him to move a bit. So we go through some things where I'm asking him gently, hey, can you feel this pressure around your belly? And what do you think about that? When he shows me that any kind of relaxation, so not putting his head down looking away, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for him to breathe. I'm looking for him to soften a bit in his body. As you can see here, he actually gets a little bit like a rock. He's stabilizing himself, so I can't tilt him over. That's not what I'm looking for, but this is better than what normally is. So when they normally go bucking or they react a lot to the girth, I want this to be calm. I want it to be boring. As I said, this whole video is 45 minutes, and it's a lot of hours before this to get him to this point. Okay, so as you saw, I was warming him up before so I could see how are you moving today, and then I'm doing all these exercises with moving him as well. So here, for example, I go into a little bit of yielding, but I have to help him a bit through the halter because he gets a little bit more stiff in the body. He has a little bit more difficulties flowing and moving freely when something is touching him. And to the untrained eye, that can seem like, oh yeah, he's fine, he's not scared of it, he's not running away. But I want the full, like, having his body being just like it was without this thing on. And when I feel like that's okay, I do exactly the same thing with the saddle pad, and I let him sniff it. Now I slowed it down a little bit again so you could see it, and speeding it up again. Technology skills. So yeah, what is she doing? So slow, he says, so slow. I let him sniff the things. I don't let it get out of hand, and I want him to be curious. Like, I don't want my horse to just put the head down, look away, and I also don't want my horse to run away, of course, but these are some of the things that can be a bit tricky to see. When is your horse actually relaxing and when are they just avoiding what is going on? And I want to keep this curiosity in him. And as you see, I do a lot of slow touching. You can learn about this on the internet for some trainers. Where can you touch the horse and how can you touch the horse so that you can help them relax, help them be aware of their body. Quite often when you put on the girth, the horse starts tensing some places, and it's very important for me that he's there. Yeah, I let him bite a little bit so he really gets that tension out of his mouth. And then I'm realizing that he's a little bit too chubby, so I had to go around again, and all these things just making it normal. I try to be as smooth as possible, but sometimes that's just not possible. So here I am again, moving him sideways, and the reason why I do that is so that he can relate to all the exercises that we've done that makes him feel good in his body, that makes him relax, take steps that makes him release any tension that he might have. And it's a little bit stiff here because it was really cold, but he's doing really great. And then I allow him to go out, and I'm always able to put him into this yield, as you see, so I can help him relax if any tension occurs, because for me it's not about perfection, it's just about how can I make him feel more relaxed to next time I work with him. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we're out.